Arena Rule 9, penalties, is I'm going to explain it, the entire rule as we go, so you won't have to, at the very end of this, be like, well, what if this happens, what if that happens, okay? So we'll just walk through it. We'll start with the penalty number 1. A penalty 1 is an automatic goal for the team that was fouled, and then a throw-in on the 15-yard line with the goal to the umpire's right, and the team that got fouled still going in the same direction. So it gives them the maximum advantage for the throw-in. So if you look at the graphic up here, you'll have an arena, and there'll be 2 little red arrows. The arrows are showing the direction of the throw-in after a penalty 1. So if it's on the right side of your screen here, you'll throw it towards the number 15 because the goal's on your right as an umpire. And then the teams will line up in the same direction they were going the entire chukar. That should cover it for you, okay? So that's the penalty 1. Penalty 2, okay, this is a markup of the penalty 2. Everyone always asks me, how do I line up in the arena for penalty shots? Because nobody ever goes over that. The rule only says that both teams need to be behind the ball. So say it's on the 15, you need to be behind the 15. And then you can line up pretty much anywhere you want. Now, with that being said, we'll go through some exceptions to that. So this is a penalty 2. The red arrow is the ball, and it's going to be placed on the 15-yard line, and the hitter, which is the blue team, is going to get a free hit towards goal. Okay, all the blue players must be behind the line of where the ball is placed. The yellow team is defending. All the yellow players must be behind the line where the ball is placed, except that for the penalty 2, the yellow team, which is the defending team, can place one of its players off to either side of the goal, 10 yards off to either side of the goal. The reason it's 10 yards is so they won't distract the hitter. And that defensive player is waiting for the rebound. All right, so let's explain what happens now. So, hitter's hitting the ball. The hitter may take 2 approaches, but may only hit it once. The hitter has to hit it the first time with the intention of scoring. I don't even know that you need that language, but the hitter hits it once. Once the hitter hits the ball on the penalty 2, nobody touches it. The hitter may not hit it again. Okay? So let's walk through the different scenarios. Scenario 1, hitter hits the ball, and it goes in the goal. Obviously, that's a goal. Okay? If the hitter hits the ball and doesn't hit it hard enough, and it stops before it goes in the goal, the whistle should sound, and the defending team, which is the yellow team, will get a hit from that spot. If it's closer than 5 yards to the wall or to the goal, we'll pull it out so the hitter can get in there and have a fair shot at the ball. Okay, so you never give a penalty up against the board. Just always pull it out about 5 yards or so. Okay. The hitter hits the ball, and it rebounds off of either the right or the left wall. And the rebound stays inside the 25-yard line. The defending team, which is the yellow team, has the first right to that ball. They must play it within 5 seconds, the delay of game rule. And the attacking team, or the blue team, has to give that player 5 yards space to do that, to go ahead and take that first right of possession, if you will. Okay? All right, let's do another scenario. If the hitter hits the ball and it rebounds either off the right side or left side but doesn't go in the goal, if it rebounds, and the rebound travels back past the hitter and past the 25-yard line, then the ball is live for everyone. Nobody has any first rights to it at all. Okay? So if it rebounds past the 25, it's live. Good to go. Let's do another one. The hitter hits the ball, and he hits it, or she hits it really hard, and it goes up over the wall and out of the arena. In that case, the defending team would get a free hit from 5 yards in, near where it went out. So if it goes over the left wall, we'll drop the ball 5 yards in the arena by the left wall near where it went out, and the yellow team will have a free hit from there. Okay, if the hitter hits the ball, and while the ball is traveling towards the goal, the hitter hits it again, then the whistle should sound, and the yellow team will get a hit from the spot where the hitter attempted to hit it again, from right there. That's the spot where the foul happened, which a misexecution is what it really is. If the hitter hits the ball and their own team, the blue team, misexecutes by jumping the line or something like that, then the yellow team will get a free hit, probably from the 15-yard line, wherever the ball was or the foul was. The foul shot was, excuse me. Okay, so that's misexecution on the hitting team. Misexecution on the defending team, on the yellow team. Let's say the hitter hits the ball and the yellow player, while it's traveling towards the goal, plays it. Okay, that's a misexecution. You can't do that. He has to just wait, or she has to just wait and see if the ball goes in or not. But if that does happen, then the hitter just hits another penalty shot. So misexecution on the hitting team is going to be a free shot for the defending team, somewhere inside the 15, going long, and the misexecution on the defending team just leads to another hit for the attacking team, which is the blue team, the hitting team. Okay? And that's how you handle that.
If both teams misexecute, then you just re-hit the penalty shot, so it would be a re-hit.
Okay, just a quick note on penalties 2, 3, and 4. They only count 1 point. Even if you're teeing the ball up for a penalty 4 and you place it slightly behind the 25-yard line, doesn't matter. It just counts as 1 point. Anything else that's hit from outside the 25-yard line that either goes directly in the goal or glances off the wall and goes in the goal, that will count as 2 points. Okay? Penalty shots 2, 3, and 4 only count as 1 point. In the arena, all penalty shots, you can tee them up. The rule says you have to ask the umpire's permission, but I can't imagine why the umpire wouldn't allow you to do that. So you can tee up all your penalty shots. Also, all penalty shots in the arena, you have 2 approaches. So if your horse is a little wiggly on the first approach, you can go around again. Okay, just a quick note, generally, about penalty shots in the arena. The defending team must give the hitter at least 5 yards space to hit the ball. They have to be 5 yards away from the hitter when the hitter hits the ball. The only exception to that is the penalty 5. If the defender lines up directly between the ball and the goal that the hitter is shooting at, then that defender must give the hitter 16 yards space. Otherwise, if they're not directly between the ball and the goal, then 5 yards space. And that's general for all penalty shots in the arena. We'll talk about the penalty 5 in a minute. But that 16 yards is only for penalty 5s and only for defenders lining up directly between the ball and the goal that the hitter is shooting at. One other quick note on the rebounds, on 2s, 3s, and 4s. If it rebounds off the wall and does not go in the goal, of course, we mentioned the defender has first right to it. The team that just hit the penalty shot must give that defender 5 yards of space to make that first play on the ball. And if that hitting team does not give the defender the 5 yards of space to play the ball, then you just blow the whistle and move it to a center hit for that defending team. The team that has first right of possession to the ball, just move it up to center, get me hit from there. That's the remedy for that particular play. And very quickly, I'm just going to flash up on the screen here what an actual 2, 3, or 4 looks like from the sidelines. It's a little different than my little graphic and my little ovals. Just so you get an idea what it really looks like. Penalty 3. Penalty 3 is a free hit for the team that got fouled from the 25-yard line. Everything else is identical to the penalty 2. The execution of the penalty shot, the misexecution, what do you do if the ball stops short, what do you do if it rebounds, all that stuff, it's identical to the penalty 2. The only difference between the penalty 2 and the penalty 3 is that the penalty 2 is from the 15 and the penalty 3 is from the 25. The penalty 4 is almost the same as the penalty 2 and 3. Okay, you're going to line up the same. The penalty 4 is a free hit for the team that got fouled from the 25-yard line. That sounds an awful lot like the penalty 3. Except that instead of the defending team having a player off to the side of the goal, either side and 10 yards away from the goal, that player can actually be in the goal mouth, defending the goal. And then when the hitter hits, that player can go ahead and play the ball. The defending player that's in the goal mouth can go ahead and play the ball when the hitter hits. Okay? So that part is different than the penalty 2 and 3. Now, everything else is the same. So if that, except what I'm going to tell you right now, which is just a couple quick scenarios. If the ball rebounds off the right side or left side wall without going in the goal, then it's the same as the penalty 2 and 3. The yellow player, the defending player that's in the goal mouth, has the first right to that ball, and the hitting team must give them 5 yard space to do that. And they have 5 seconds to go ahead and play that ball. Once they play the ball, it's live for both teams. Everything else is the same as the penalty 2 and 3. Lineup same, everything else is the same. Okay, so if the hitter hits the ball and it hits the defending player, he's right in the middle of the goal, so it may very well hit him or her. If that happens, it's the same as if that player played the ball, so it's live. So you just carry on playing like that. Okay. All the other rules, all the other execution rules are in place. The hitter can only hit it once. He or she has 2 approaches, but can only hit it once and can't touch it again until the defending player has played it. If the ball comes to a stop before the defending player can play it, then it's a whistle and a hit from there for the defending team, for the yellow team. Okay? Everything else is the same as the 2 and the 3. That's your penalty 4. Penalty 5's in the arena. Completely different. Okay? A penalty 5, you kind of treat it like a knock-in outdoors. Okay? So, first of all, they've switched penalty 5A and penalty 5B. Who cares? I just say hit from the spot or hit from the center. I don't even use A and B. But if you want to, you can. B is from the center, A is from the spot. The umpire may now award a penalty 5 going either direction, anywhere between the 25-yard lines. Okay, so you can award a penalty 5 right outside the 25 going towards goal. You can do that. And if the hitter hits it and it goes right in the goal without touching anything else or just touching the sidewall, it's 2 points. So remember that. Okay, the penalty 5. When you line up for a penalty 5, you have to give the hitter 5 yard space if you're on the defending team. That's it, just 5 yard space. Unless you're between the hitter and the goal they're shooting at. Then if you're going to be in that spot, which would be in the right of way, you have to give the hitter 16 yards space. So lots of space. That way they don't go fast forward and run you over. That's the idea. There is an imaginary line of the ball created before the hitter ever hits the ball, and it's from the ball to the center of the goal that the hitter is shooting at. And that's the line that the umpire will use to determine the right-of-way if the hitter misses the ball completely, just woofs it, just looked up and missed it completely. It's live for both teams, and the line of the ball is from the ball to the center of the goal the hitter was shooting at. Okay, that's the line we'll honor. On a penalty 5, the hitter can dribble it, tap it, hit it, whatever. Still 2 approaches, and then has to play it on the second approach. But there's no requirement to hit it in one shot or anything like that. You can do anything you want, like a knock-in. I hate to use an analogy from the outdoors, but everybody knows a knock-in. So that's the penalty 5. A quick note on missed executions. For all of the penalty shots, if both teams mis-execute simultaneously, you just redo the penalty shot. For penalty 5s, if the hitting team mis-executes, then you just throw it in towards the boards, towards the nearer boards. You just take the ball away from them and throw it in. Of course, you never do a throw-in inside the 15-yard marks. It's between the 15s somewhere, wherever the penalty shot was. You bowl it in there. If the defending team mis-executes on a penalty 5, just move it up one and give them another penalty.
Also, on the penalty 5s, a couple of things you should know. One is, if the hitter on a penalty 5 hits it the first time, and he hits it really hard, or she hits it really hard, and it goes out of the arena, then it'll be a free hit for the defending team 5 yards in from near where it went out. But if the hitter taps it first and then hits it, it doesn't matter. It would just be a throw-in.
And just one more quick note on penalty shots. Penalty 2, 3, and 4. If the hitter hits the ball and it hits the defending player that's in the goal and goes out, or it hits the defending player that's off to the side of the goal and goes out, then you just do a throw-in. Okay? Just a throw-in, ball went out. If the hitter hits the ball on a penalty 2 and 3, and it hits the guy off to the side of the goal, the defending player off to the side of the goal, just count it as a rebound, and then that defending player has the first right to it. If it hits the player on a 4, it's live. Hits the defending player on a penalty 4, it's live. On a penalty 5, if it hits the defending player and goes out, it's just a throw-in. Ball just went out. Now, that's if you have elected Arena Rule number 7 standard. If you have elected alternate rule number 7 for the Arena Rule number 7 alternate. If you've elected that, then it's a little different. Because you're having change of possessions when a ball goes out of the arena, and possession is given to the team that did not touch it last. So it's a little different. So if you've elected alternate rule number 7 and you're changing possession when the ball goes out of the arena, you'll do that. So if the hitter hits a penalty 4 and it hits the defending player that's in the goal and goes out, you'll do a re-hit of the penalty 4 for Rule 7 alternate. It's the alternate rule only when you have change of possessions when the ball goes out. That's how you handle that. Okay? All other times, just go to Rule 7 and listen to that. What happens is when the ball goes out of the arena, its possession is given to the team that did not touch it last, just like outdoor polo. But on penalty shots, it's a little different. Really just penalty 4s, because you can hit that. It could hit the defending player and go out. One other thing worthy of a quick mention is a swing and a miss. So a penalty 5 swing and a miss by the hitter, it's live. The ball's live, play it. And we will honor the line from the ball to the middle of the goal, an imaginary line of the ball. Okay? Know that. Swing and a miss on a penalty 2, 3, and 4. You'll hear a whistle, and the defending team that's defending that 2, 3, or 4 will have a free hit from the spot where the ball is. Easy peasy. Okay, penalty 6. Penalty 6 is the penalty that the umpire is actually invoking when the umpire calls a mis-execution of a penalty shot. So say, for example, the defending team plays the ball while it's still in motion towards the goal on a penalty 2. Okay, they've mis-executed. So you're gonna re-hit the foul shot. But that actual re-hitting of the foul shot is called a penalty 6. Penalty 7. We went over this in the substitution rule a little bit. The penalty 7 is the one where if your team fouls and that foul resulted in the injuring of a player from the other team to the point where the player from the other team can no longer play, he or she has become disabled because of the foul, or the crash that happened because of the foul, and that player can't continue because they're disabled, then the team that got fouled has a choice to make. They can choose option 1, which is just substitute the player that's been disabled or injured. Disabled's better because they can't continue to play. That's choice 1. Choice number 2 is they can remove a player from the team that fouled nearest above the handicap of the player that was disabled, and go ahead and play 2-on-2. You can also do a double substitution as well. The handicap will not change. It's going to stay the same. And the player who was disabled, once they choose option 2, cannot come back into the game, period. If they choose option 1, yes. But option 2, no. And if you carry on with 2 against 2, that's it. No coming back in the game once you take option 2 and you claim you're disabled. That's it. It's over. Okay, so that's penalty 7. The substitute must be a qualified substitute. So you would look to the substitution rule for that. Handicap, dues paid, not playing in the tournament, that sort of thing. Penalty 8. Penalty 8 is where a player or the player's horse has been disqualified. So the umpire would order the horse out of the arena or the player out of the arena for whatever reason. If it's because of equipment that has bad equipment on it, or some kind of protruding buckles or something like that, as soon as the equipment is remedied, then the player can return or the horse can return. That's penalty 8. Penalty 9. Penalty 9 is just a forfeit for whatever reason. If the umpire calls a penalty 9, it means that one team, or maybe both teams, are required to forfeit the game for whatever reason. And that's penalty 9. Okay, quick recap. What do players really need to know about penalties in the arena? First of all, while these rules are still kind of fresh, ask your umpire, hey, can I tap it once? Do I have to hit it? What do I have to do? Can we put a defending player back there? Whatever it is that you're unsure about, ask. Be polite and ask it quickly. You'll get an answer, and then there you go. But basically, a couple of tips for penalties in the arena. You can tee them all up. You may want to ask your umpire, but you can tee them all up. I usually tell the players, just tee up everything. Don't keep asking me. Okay? It's faster that way. The second thing is follow your umpire's lead. If he places the ball down and you tee it up, just remember 2s, 3s, and 4s count as 1 point, and you have to hit it once. You can't mess with it again until it's done something else. Penalty 5s are just like knock-ins. You can tap them. You can do anything you want. Okay? So keep that in mind and follow your umpire's lead. He or she will guide you through this. It's really quite simple, and in no time you'll be used to it.